be a lot less school of choice necessity. So I think that is the problem that needs to be dealt with before we talk about expanding school of choice.
Do you want to restart the clock? Okay. So, I mean, and kind of really segueing off what Nancy said, I agree. Like I said, it pains me to see so many families leaving the district. But when they leave the district, I mean, from a business standpoint, we have open capacity. And we need to fill that in some way, shape, or form. And it is obviously, at this point, with schools of choice. Again, going back to, I would like to stop children from leaving, I just learned the other day that Berkeley's launching a program called the Berkeley Scholars Program. And instead of stopping schools of choice at 5th grade entering Berkeley, if you've got a top performing kid going into high school, well, you can go there. And so they're just pulling the cream of the crop from our schools, and they're figuring out ways to take more of our kids, which means that we have more open capacity. And like Nan, I understand, I agree we want to have a full service school district, and when children come in, the bottom line reality is that brings revenue. And revenue keeps teachers teaching, revenue keeps programs alive and running. So we have to generate that revenue. And I would expand it within Oakland County, but do I want to make it a huge, open it to any county, Wayne, Macomb? No, I think there are enough students. We have a great district. We have enough appeal within our neighboring districts that if we need to bring in more schools of choice kids, we can do it right around our neighborhood.
Thank you. This next question is for every group, everyone here, for the group, and I guess we'll start with you folks because you haven't had a chance to talk. And who are your endorsements?
You want to start with that one? I mean, that's kind of the same answer question. It's
the same answer question. Who are our endorsements? I think we've got a large following of people that have endorsed us over the years. Actually, when we talk about who are our endorsements out there, we've got the prior past president of the school board has endorsed us in the paper. We've got several past board members have endorsed us going forward and going on. I think we are endorsed not so much by big groups of saying, because we go out, we're endorsed by the people who know our experience that we've covered and that we've done. So I will say, no, I am not endorsed by the union. I just got that letter today. I am not endorsed by them. We had a meeting last week, and so I received that letter today that they decided to endorse other people, which is fine. And we are asking other groups if they will endorse. CFF, people who are interviewing us, are groups that don't endorse. League of Women Voters don't endorse. And we have not gone out to seek out other groups per se, large groups. CBD is backing us, the Citizens for Better Education. That's a large group which has been very formidable in the community trying to get programs going and keep the district in a good financial sound shape, and that's a very large group with a lot of good input and a lot of good program thoughts and ideas. So that's one of our large supporters that we have out there. And I'll stop at 1.5 minutes. Just reset.
Okay.
Do you want to?
I just, no, of course.
Well, does
do you want to say something, Carol? I'm sorry. I thought Chuck said that he was speaking for.
No, I just started.
Just to add to that, I think many and a lot of our endorsers are in the room. We have a lot of families, parents in the district that are supporters of what's happened in this district and the board board decisions that have been made. And I think that's what's going to carry us. I think it's the experience and the things that we have done and the programs that are in place. That's our endorsement, is what we've done.
And the council.
Okay. As you can remember, we did get a letter today that the teachers union is in fact endorsing myself and Nan. We also have support within the community from Mayor Craig Covey, from Melanie Piana, from Scott Galloway, also, and those are city council people if you're not familiar. Also, Greg Pollica, who actually did run for city council. We have the
President of the Seniors
Right.
Center, Jeannie Davis, and a local 80K sorority, which is a sorority for women teachers that teach in Michigan. They are endorsing us as well.
And we do have a full list of people on our website because, and I think this obviously goes for all of us, we all have people within the community that are endorsing us, the families and the citizens, because, you know, it's wonderful to say the big groups or the people, but we all have one vote. And, you know, our families are the most important, and we do have a lot of families backing us and supporting us and saying that they're willing to publicly endorse us.
The next question up is for Nan Camus and Christy Stoll. The question regards funding. How should grants be a part of school funding and why?
So you would,
I don't think that grants are a part of school funding. I think that grants usually are used as an above and beyond source of funding. They're not very reliable, so I wouldn't ever want to base any of our procedural stuff off of grants, because as I know, all of a sudden they dry up and then they're gone and then you're left scrambling, and that would be particularly bad. So I love grants, and I mean, I'll fight for tooth and nail for every grant we can possibly get and every cent we can get into this district to expand our arts programs, our after-school programs. United Way is offering a huge grant for science after-school programs that I think that we could tap into. There's a lot of stuff that we can do, but I don't think that I would want to use it for regular funding.
I actually, and I know some people say we're administration heavy and things like that, but I would actually be for hiring a full-time grant writer within the district who would be based, you know, in the Harding administration building and would have a sole focus on searching out and finding grants, because I think that person, if knowledgeable and good at their job, could more than make up for their salary, because there are tons of grants. I tried to do some research just going out there, not being as familiar as Nan. I have been on the grant giving side before, but on mini grants for literacy and children and things like that. But I really think we are in such a unique district. We have amazing racial diversity. We have amazing socioeconomic diversity. We are an inner ring suburb bordering Detroit. I think we would have so much appeal as a district and a community to the grant giving organizations that I think we could really tap into it. Again, like Nan, I would never want to have a budget line item expecting revenue to come in that we haven't already at least received, you know, the okay that we have that. And I wouldn't want to take away from something in the budget expecting it, but I think that we could add so many unique programs, especially some of those that I know people are afraid of losing with the economy, you know, because we have amazing fine arts and programs and extracurricular activities, or even more academic things like the after-school science program. So I think there's so many opportunities out there, and I would be all for hiring a full-time grant writer to go after those.